It's Dave Barber today, coming to you from the third floor of the Rhode Island State House in a segment that we simply call Capitol Spotlight. We essentially put the spotlight on a member of the General Assembly and discuss with them some of the things they have been working on and its impact on you and I, Rhode Island citizens. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome back a gentleman we've had the opportunity to talk to many times before. It's our pleasure to welcome back the Honorable State Representative Jay Edwards. Representative, it's great to see you.
Good to be back, Dave. Thank you.
And I know we're nearing the home stretch of session, and it's been a busy time for you and your colleagues.
But a very busy time this year.
But I get the feeling that maybe in terms of pacing, you're a little bit ahead of the game in terms of legislation and bills that you've heard so far. Do you get the sense that we're dealing with the docket a little more efficiently?
Well, I think the Speaker's done a great job with getting the bills out and through, and we've had almost double the amount of bills this time last year. So, I mean, the Speaker's doing a good job. I think he's intent on getting us out in a timely fashion and being able to hear the bills in a more effective and full manner.
Well, you recently had a bill that passed the House that deals with transparency of government. Tell our viewers about that and bring us up to date as to the exact status currently.
What the bill does is it will make anyone who campaigns for or against a financial town meeting, financial town referendum, or a charter change, they'll have to report any of the sources of the income they receive for that campaign. Basically, right now, they could receive anything. They can receive any amount of money, they can receive it from any source, and they can use it to whatever effect they want. This will change it so that they will be reporting that information just like we do as candidates.
And this will be happening on a municipal level, on a local level?
It'll be happening at any level, anytime they have a financial town meeting, financial town referendum, or a charter change.
Well, again, I think that in the interest of transparency, who wouldn't support that? I mean, if you're going to support something, you ought to be able to affix your name to it and let people know that you're indeed supporting it and contributing money to it.
Exactly, and the people need to know where the money's coming from on a particular issue. Common Cause, Rhode Island supported this bill. It's a very good, transparent bill, and it's something that I think the state of Rhode Island could use.
I know House Judiciary's already heard another bill that you've worked on that would call for decriminalizing possession of small amounts of marijuana. Give us the update on that.
It was heard by the committee. I've been working actively with the Speaker, the Majority Leader, and also with my Senate counterpart, Josh Miller, to see if we can get the bill through this year. I have 41 co-sponsors, so I have more than enough support on the floor. And Josh has 24 supporters in the Senate, so we both have more than enough support in our respective chambers. I'm hoping this year is the year we get it through. Connecticut just had theirs. They voted in last year, and it went into effect January 1st. Well, so Rhode Island is only one, other than Vermont, the only states in New England does not have a decriminalization bill.
And if you talk to any community that has taken steps to do this, it really works out well. Talk to people and law enforcement off the record. They'll tell you the same thing, that it needs to be done.
And we had a number of law enforcement people at the hearing on the record who said this is a good thing. This will take them and allow them to go after the crime that's really most prevalent in our state and not for the small things like a misdemeanor.
And again, when you talk about possession of small amounts of marijuana and using our police resources on that, that becomes very expensive. And I think most reasonable thinking people would say that's really a misdirection of our law enforcement monies and resources. We need to be really concentrating on the more serious and violent offenders.
Exactly, Dave. And also, more than 65% of the population agrees with decriminalization of marijuana in some form.
Representative Edwards, you've always been accommodating to us. I want to thank you so much for visiting with us again. To you and your colleagues in the Rhode Island House, my very best to you for the remainder of session.
Thank you very much for having me, Dave.
And of course, we could not do it without you, the viewer. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are coming to you today from the third floor of the Rhode Island State House for Capitol TV. I'm Dave Barber.